Hello, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome back to PG-13 Movie Month. Tonight, I'm going to review a action fantasy adventure from 2014, and this is the Brett Ratner directed Hercules movie from the summer of 2014. Not the Legend of Hercules that came out earlier in that year. That movie is horrible. You don't want to know about it. If I do a rant on that, I'm probably going to review it next month. But this is the Rock's version of Hercules. That's the poster with him, and this is the more accurate version of Hercules. I don't know how accurate it is to the original story, but it definitely feels more accurate. Now, this film came out. I didn't see it in the theater because I just wasn't really that interested. And I know that Brett Ratner, he's a hit or miss director. I like some of the Rush Hour movies. I don't like X Men: The Last Stand, though. I think that's easily the worst film he's done in recent memory because he just dropped the ball on it. But this has a hell of a cast. It's got Dwayne the Rock Johnson. It's got John Hurt in one of his final roles. You have Joseph Fiennes. You have Ian McShane, and you also have the one and the only gorgeous woman, Rebecca Ferguson, who she plays a supporting role, but you remember her. And this is what she did before Mission Impossible: Rogue Nation. This movie cost $100 million and made 244, and they got mixed reviews from the critics. Some people really liked it. Some people thought it was like just commercial trash. It was praised for the action sequences and The Rock's acting, of course, because The Rock always delivers in most of the films that he does, and this is no different. He's got presence. He wears a lion's what do you call it, mane on his head, and he still kicks a lot of ass in the movie. It is PG-13, so there's not too much blood, but it's a lot less tame than the freaking other version that came out in 2014. Here's the synopsis in a nutshell. You got Hercules is the leader of a band of mercenaries comprising the spear-wielding prophet Amphiaraus of Argos, which I don't know. I don't know how to speak Greek, so I'm going to probably screw up some of the names. The knife-throwing thief Autolycus of Sparta, the pharaoh warrior Tedious of Thebes, the Amazon archer Atlanta, uh, Atalanta of Scythia, and then his nephew storytelling Lolaus of Athens. So that's the archer is played by Rebecca Ferguson. And you know the story that he's a demigod, son of Zeus. That his father lives in Mount Olympus and all that. This is not the Disney version, by the way. Um, yeah, this is the whole plot in a nutshell. Hercules is confronted by King Eurystheus, who's in a league with Cotis, who's John Hurt, the guy from Alien. And yeah, the film is well shot. I mean, Brett Ratner does get good shots in the movie. It's a beautiful looking film. The action sequences, I can actually see what's going on. There's CGI creatures in the movie. There's like a giant boar and a lion and the sea serpent creature that he fights in the water. It reminded me of some of the early Sinbad movies from back in like the 50s to the 70s. The effects don't look so bad. I mean, for the $100 million budget. Yeah, John Hurt is the king, Cotis, the ruler of Thrace. Actually, Rebecca Ferguson is Eugenia, the princess of Thrace. Yeah, or Thrace. Absolute princess indeed. Like when I saw her in this movie, I was like, yeah, this is another movie that I wouldn't mind owning because you are such a beautiful woman. I love your face. I love your screen presence, and just heavenly bodied all the way through. And yeah, and of course, she's not the only person in the movie. Ian McShane is the seer. I don't really remember him in the film that much, but he's there. And yeah, said the Rock took on grueling training to prepare for it. Yeah, he lived alone and locked himself away in Budapest for 6 months while filming. Wow, that's crazy. The film, yeah, it opened at 29 million its opening weekend, but it was behind Lucy, which was a movie I really enjoyed that summer with Scarlett Johansson. And yeah, the film reminded me of The Rock's early sword and sandal films like The Scorpion King, which I really enjoy. I like it better than The Mummy. Sue me, I think it's a lot shorter, more epic, and the lead girl's not a bitch like freaking Rachel Weisz. I prefer Kelly Hu over the hell. I prefer Rebecca Ferguson over Rachel Weisz because I don't like her. She's so annoying in those movies. And this kind of genre I enjoy, the sword and sandal, where men are men, they're muscular dudes, hacking and slashing and killing things, and they're fighting creatures. It's my kind of thing. I mean, maybe it's not for my friends here on the Nerd Pack, but I like those kind of movies. When they're hit and miss, definitely. For every Hercules movie, you get some shitty knockoff from the Asylum, or you get some freaking horrible excuse for a movie like the Rennie Harlan version from 2014 with Kalen Lutz. The movie is shit. It's horrible. It's just it even is insulting, like how they use the slow mo and the CGI. Oh, it's terrible. But this one, yeah, it's it's but you get what you pay for. It's basically The Rock killing things and going through a journey for almost 2 hours. It's only 98 minutes. It's not Lord of the Rings long, I promise. It is very fast paced. The action sequences are fluid. The score, I think, who did the score? Fernando Velasquez did the music. Let me see what else he did. I think I've heard other movies. He mostly did a lot of Spanish films that I never heard of, but he did a decent job with it. He did Pride and Prejudice as Zombies, but I was not a fan of that. The music was not the problem with that. The Impossible and some other Spanish films. So anyway, but if you've never seen this movie and you stumble across it on cable or you watch it on Netflix or you get it on DVD for real cheap, it's worth your time. I love seeing Rebecca Ferguson in the film. Like I said before, she steals a lot of the movie when she's in it. She plays a princess, and she's gonna be a queen of my heart soon. And yeah, it is what it is. It's not a movie that was going to win Academy Awards. The controversy: Steve Moore, a writer whose name is used in the promotion, wanted his name disassociated from the adaptation before his death, according to an interview. Blah blah blah. Yeah, people are just petty. They always want if you look at it this way, dude. If you don't want to be associated with the film, don't do it. Don't do the film and then you regret it and say, "Oh, I want my name off." I'm like, hey, you reap what you sow, dude. But anyway, the film, it doesn't have a lot of blood in it, so don't expect to see Gladiator or 300 or that type of violence. But it is a fun movie. Like, it's a decent time waster. It's got some decent action. It looks great. Brett Ratner knows how to shoot a movie. He knows how to direct The Rock and the Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and the rest of the cast, they're hit and miss. Some of the cast I don't care for. Rufus Sewell and Ingrid Bolso Burdell. I was like, they're kind of forgettable. They're not really that memorable in the movie. The Rock is the one you see the movie for, and Rebecca Ferguson, and the action and the cool creature effects. Which, for not being practical, hey, it's better than Wrath of the Titans. That movie bored the shit out of me. I hated the characters. I thought it was really boring. This was at least fun to watch. And if you haven't seen it, I think it's a fun time at the movies. I think if you get some popcorn and you want to be entertained by The Rock kicking ass, in sandals, and his muscular physique, and him fighting CGI creatures that are not as bad as in the Legend of Hercules, I think you would have a good time. And it's not long; it's only 98 minutes, so it's not going to take up too much of your time. But it is what it is. And yeah, the who else? Brett Ratner produced it. Caitlin McCullough produced it. Barry Levine and a bunch of people wrote the screenplay. It's a decent screenplay. And consider that one of the writers did some of the direct to video Disney movies. This is not as bad as some of those. And it's not a kids movie. He also wrote yeah, one of the writers wrote Snow White and the Huntsman, Winter's War, which I know my friend Josh hates that movie. This movie is not as bad as that. I promise. It's not. Doesn't have Kristen Stewart in it, fucking the movie up. It's not like some bullshit Twilight knockoff. This movie has a good look to it. It is an underrated movie. It kind of just came and went in 2014, and it wouldn't make my top 10 of that year, but it's a honorable mention. I didn't hate the movie. I mean, I want to be entertained. At the end of the day, any movie, just entertain me. Just give me what I want. And if I get what I want, I'm happy. I'm not expecting Shakespeare from a freaking Hercules movie not done by Disney or by the asshats that did the Legend of Hercules. They missed the entire point of what Hercules was. Here, they nailed it as best they could, and it's a fun, entertaining movie, which is it's a blessing compared to the 2000 other movie that we got in 2014, which is shit. It is. It's shit, and it's one of the worst films of that year, easily. Take my word for it. But anyway, this Hercules movie is fun, and if you have time to kill, you can watch it, and it's not a bad movie. It's fun for what it is, and the movie should. I wouldn't mind having a sequel with The Rock coming back or a spinoff with Rebecca Ferguson, because like I said, I want to see more of her. That woman could do me no wrong in a movie, like when you use her the right way. Let me see a picture of her from Hercules. There she is. Look at that face, guys. Look at that gorgeous, sweet, vanilla, beautiful face. That is a face that belongs in a freaking fantasy adventure action movie. It is beautiful to look at. She's a work of art. I loved her in the last two Mission Impossible movies. I liked seeing her in The Greatest Showman. She's just a woman that I'm going to be seeing a lot more of, and less of the one who's responsible for damaging this product. Both of them, or all of them, if you will. But this woman, yeah, gorgeous woman, absolutely gorgeous. Just there's another picture of her. I'm gonna just show some pics here. Here's another one. Just beautiful. Just yeah, that is a woman I want to see get an action figure so I can put in my room and just look at it and say, "You're beautiful. You are everything that these other girls are just not. They're little girls while you're a grown ass woman and beautiful and you can act. And even though you're foreign, I have no ill will towards her because but compared to others, she didn't cock block me. This movie didn't do that either. The men are men, the women are women, and they're all badass for the most part. Some of the casts are forgettable, like I said in the movie. It's where it's going. It is predictable, but for what it gave me, it's not even Brett Ratner's worst movie. Done way freaking worse. X-Men: The Last Stand. That's way worse than this movie. This movie at least is fun to watch, and they don't kill off a bunch of characters for no freaking reason. And yeah, it's a fun movie. If you want to see Rebecca Ferguson a year before she stole our hearts in Rogue Nation, this is it. Definitely. I want to see more of her. Just I love women, especially when they can give me something, when they can offer me a nice olive branch. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Take care. I know this review was kind of sporadic, but I want to do it off book. I only use a tablet to get information if I forgot something. But the Hercules movie from 2014. This is the one to see. Avoid the freaking bullshit version with Kalen Lutz. That is awful. That will waste your time. That will piss you off. And it is one of the worst movies made in this decade. And it was a financial bomb for a reason. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.